Hey there! In this video, I'm going to show you how to manage multiple screens, including your Surface screen and your external monitor using the docking station. Additionally, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to use two screens to optimize your Teams meetings presentations with your students. So let's get started. First, we're going to take a look at the actual setup. The standard teacher setup includes the following: one large monitor, a full-size keyboard and mouse, a Surface Pro, and most importantly, the piece that holds it all together, the docking station. To get started managing multiple screens, you're going to want to turn on your Surface and plug in the docking station. When you first connect your Surface Pro to your docking station, your second monitor will light up, and you may or may not have your screen duplicated depending on your settings. In this example here, our screen is duplicated, which means anything I see on my main Surface screen is also what I see on my external monitor. This can be nice because this allows me to see a larger view of things on my Surface. For example, something small like the gradebook, I can see nice and big on the second screen. However, with this setup, with everything duplicated, we are not taking full advantage of the screen real estate. So we're going to switch to extend mode, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage that. To switch to extend mode, we're going to press and hold the Windows key on our keyboard and tap P for presentation. And we're going to choose extend mode. And you can choose either with your mouse or your finger extend mode. Once you switch to extend mode, your screens are going to change, and you are now going to have a second screen where you can move content to. However, your screen orientation may not be ideal, so let's talk about how you can customize your screen orientation. Once we have our second screen set up, we can right-click anywhere on the background of our desktop and go into our display settings. This is going to open up our display settings, and we can see that we do have two monitors connected here, and I can click this Identify button to identify both of my monitors. I'm going to see when I click Identify that my Surface is monitor 1 and my external monitor is monitor 2. And up at the top here, I can see the configuration of these monitors. And right now I can see that monitor 1 is to the right of monitor 2, which is how they are in real life. However, this orientation may be backwards. I might have monitor 1, which is my Surface, to the left of monitor 2, which is not how my screens are set up in real life. So I need to fix that. To fix that, I can just click on the monitor that I'd like to move around. In this case, I'll click and hold monitor 2, and I'll drag it to the left of monitor 1. I could also drag it to the top or to the bottom, wherever would match my real life layout. In this case here, I'm going to drag it to the left so that 2 is left of 1, and I'm going to go ahead and click Apply. Once 2 is to the left of 1, I'm going to be able to grab objects on my screen and seamlessly move them from left to right, because these are oriented here how they're oriented in real life. One other setting that I can change is I can decide what to make my main display. If I click on monitor 2 here and I like monitor 2 to be the main display where all my icons live, I can scroll down and I can say make this my main display. I can check that, and all of my icons will shift over to monitor 2. If I would prefer to have my Surface stay my main display, I can click on monitor 1 again and say make this my main display. Once I have my display settings set up how I would like, everything is automatically saved. I can go ahead and close this out, and I now have monitor 2 next to monitor 1 on the left, and I'm going to be able to seamlessly move content. Now that we have our monitors configured how we would like them, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to use your second screen to make your Teams meetings or Schoology conference meetings more effective. In this example here, I have my Microsoft Teams meeting open, and I'd like to be able to share my screen with my students. However, normally when I share my screen with my students, the Teams meeting minimizes, and I have to kind of flip back and forth between the two of them. But now I have a whole second screen whose real estate I can take advantage of. So let's see how we can do this. So the first thing I want to do is figure out the content I'd like to share with my students. In this case here, I'd like to share my Schoology course with my students so I can teach them how to do something in Schoology. So what I'm going to do is click and drag on my Schoology window here. Just click in the top and drag it and move it over to my second screen. And I can just move it up to the top there so that it fills the entire screen. Once I have my content set up, I can come back to my Teams meeting and I can click the share icon. Now, under the desktop column of shareable screens, I have screen 1, which is going to be my Surface screen, and screen 2, which is my external monitor. I'll go ahead and click on screen 2, and screen 2 will start sharing. I can tell that because there's going to be a red rectangle around my entire screen letting me know that screen is live to my students. However, on my other screen, screen 1, my Teams meeting minimized, and I'd like to have that open still so I can watch the chat. Anytime a Teams meeting minimizes, you get this little window here. You can just double click on this window, and that will open the Teams meeting back up. And I can click on chat here to load up my chat so that I can see my students chatting and their questions coming in. And this way, I'm able to share content with my students and still see the chat coming in. I'm not going to see my own content in my Teams meeting, but I can tell that it is sharing because, again, of that red rectangle all around my entire screen. So now I could go ahead and work through my content, and when I was done sharing my screen with my students, I could come back to my share icon. Now it has an X. I can click on that to stop sharing, and I'm no longer sharing that screen. That red rectangle goes away. If I'd like to share that screen again for whatever reason, if I have new content to share, maybe I will have a different Schoology item I'd like to share with my students, I can click that share icon again, click screen 2 to share my entire second screen, and that is now live. Again, I just need to double click on my Teams meeting here to bring that back up so I can see that chat. Thank you for watching this quick video on how to set up your dual monitors and to use them optimally for video conferencing with your students. Thanks!